A form of modern-day slavery is a real and increasing problem all over the world, including here in the QCA.
Children and adults are being sold for sex, but efforts to end it are gaining steam, as KWQC's Bailey Dietz tells us in a special series we're starting tonight. Bailey?
Yeah, just last year, the National Human Trafficking Resource Center hotline took nearly 32,000 phone calls, 118 in Iowa and 660 in Illinois, whether from a community member tip or a victim. This map shows some of the hot spots throughout the country. Those are just the potential cases that get brought to light. Experts say there are so many more that aren't, and many times it's hard to identify, even for those who are caught up in it.
Every girl's story is different.
In most every story, fantasy or nonfiction, there's a lesson learned.
It doesn't even seem real.
At 31 years old, Sarah Kellum's tale is a cautionary one she's compelled to share.
I didn't feel like I could do anything else with my life. I just felt hopeless, and I just felt like that's the kind of life that I was going to have.
It wasn't always that way. Kellum's grew up in the Quad Cities with what she describes as a loving family, though there was a very large void.
I didn't meet my dad, so it was a single-parent household, and I definitely think that had a part to play in just the low self-esteem.
She says that led to drugs and alcohol, getting kicked out of her home multiple times.
I was lost. I was losing jobs and didn't know what to turn to.
And at 21, mixed up with the wrong people, including a woman who ran an escort business and rented her an apartment.
She would call me every night and tell me that I had a client that I had to meet. And even if I didn't want to, I still had to be there.
Kellum says there were many times she said she wanted to stop, but was manipulated into it on a daily basis.
All this time, like, it wasn't my choice. And it was scary. There were times that it was life-threatening, like I didn't know what was going to happen to me. And so many times I remember thinking, this may be it.
It went on for a year until Kellum's decided enough was enough.
And it wasn't till at the very end, when things just got terrible, that I just left and never looked back.
It wasn't until later on that she realized she had been a victim. It's not what you might picture when you think of sex trafficking, but experts say that's exactly what it was.
Sex trafficking is when someone is compelled to work in the commercial sex industry, either through force, fraud, or coercion.
And every day, potentially hundreds of women and children are advertised for sex right here in the Quad Cities. Why advocates with the organization Breaking Traffic work to raise awareness and to prevent more stories like Kellum's.
People don't like to think that it happens in their backyard.
A victim could very well be your typical girl or boy next door, but O'Keefe says there are risk factors that make someone more vulnerable. While it can be a kidnapping situation, runaway behavior and homelessness are common precursors. It's also often part of gang culture, or like in Kellum's experience, drug use and the feeling of a partnership with the trafficker.
They're told over and over, we're in this together, you're choosing to do this.
Kellum's believes her upbringing is part of what led her to that very situation, but there's no one way victims end up involved. Today, she's a very different person, full of hope and intent to inspire. Kellum's has worked with other victims, and her experience will become a teaching tool.
Though I'm not proud of the choices I made, if I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be able to relate to these girls and have that kind of passion to help them.
To make sure there are more happily ever afters like she's made for herself.
It just seems like a dream.